So we will work on login page. We have already worked on a register page, and now let's create the login page, and so that user can log in from here. Okay, so now let's open this page, and here class name, row, div, class name, call md 12, h1, here, and text center. So our login page is looking like this. Now below this, let's take a wrapper div, and then let's take one more div here, class name, row, div, class name, call md 6, email, input type, email, name equals to email, input merge, then password here. Now let's create here submit button. So this is login page, sorry, this is button. So text center, and here class btn success. So it looking like this. We have a css called main box right here, so let's call that css here. This class name, div, class name this one, so that it will look like this. Okay, now let's work on functional part. So here, so first let's call this for, we will use this for navigation, and then const user, then set user. Here use state, use state, and here inside this email and password. Here let's call use this Axios, const handle change function inside this. So here set user, then this user, and e. And now in all the text field here, change on change, on change, then this one handle change, and value here, value equals to user dot email, and same thing will be here in this text field, email text field. Oh, that was one. We have two, no? Login page, then email, then what is password here? Password, type password, name, password, and here as well there will be handle change, then password, and here uh, it will be almost same like submit. So first submit form, then just copy from here. So in the login also it will be almost same, just we will remove the field name. So here we need email and password only, nothing else, and in this case we will just change to login. The rest of the things will be same, and here we will make change, and here form on submit, then this function names. That's it, and we will close this at the end of this GL. Okay, so this we will log in, and let's check this file which I have, and this one is our login page, and our table name is register, right? So here login register we had created. So let's make connection first here, and then in our case it's small case, not capital, and password also small here, password, that's it. And here select start from register, where email equals to email, and password, okay. And once it is returned, then email email, then first name, here will be first name. That means what? We will send back after login if it's set. Okay, so in the output these will be the field email, first name, last name, and status 200. That means success. If it's fine, then it's 200, or else there will be a status code 202. That means failed. So now let's try to log in and check. In here we will check result.data.status. Is it status or what? Status, yeah, capital, no? Status equals to 200 here. That means successful, right here, or invalid user. History dot, it will move back to dashboard, which we will create now. Also we will set here in local storage username and password, email, so that in other page we can detect. Okay, so now let's write here local storage. We will store the value here, windows.local storage.set item email, then we will fetch the email from here, from this data. Okay, email and username we are passing here, so it will be combination of first name and last name. Okay, so now let's try to log in and check what happens. Okay, so it says use navigate is not defined. Okay, so where is data? Send data. So first let's import these things. Use navigate. In here this use state, because we are using here use state, that's why we need to import this as well. Remember, this one is used for navigation, that means auto redirect. Okay, we are using this now for history, so we are taking, so actually this will be history here, right, or navigate. So let's name it as navigate, not history. Okay, now so it says undefined data. Okay, it will be user, in our case it's user, no? So user this, and yes, now let's check. Expected triple instead of double. Oh, that's fine. Let's put it triple, strict checking. Now let's come here and try to log in. Okay, so now let's try here, but before that let's open here localhost and then PHP myadmin, so that we will check user and password. So in our case it is React. Is this registration? Yeah. No, this is not. What is your table name? Table name is, we need to check. Okay, it is database name is React login, right? React login, this one. So inside this there is register. So username, that means email. Email is umar@gmail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6. So here umar@gmail.com and then 1 2 3 4 5 6. Invalid user, it says. Why? Undefined offset 200. Undefined offset 200. Status blank. Where is that? Okay, so it will be not RS, actually it will be simple 200. Status 200. Okay, so now let's try again. Yes, now it's logged in. So since we don't have any dashboard component, that's why, so let's create one component called dashboard here inside src folder. Okay, so dashboard.js. inside dashboard let's create any function like this. So just to click this, so name will be dashboard, and here as well dashboard. So welcome to private page. Okay, and now we need to call this in app.js here like this. So dashboard, and here also in route the dashboard, and here as well dashboard. So now let's check here. Yes, welcome to home page, and then when we log in, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 it goes to, yes, all right. So in dashboard what we have written, private page, right? Something wrong. Dashboard element dashboard. So I guess in this page after login dashboard, it's fine. So it should go to dashboard. Okay, so here is the mistake actually. It should be dashboard, that is why it is opening here home page. Okay, so welcome to private page. When you open dashboard, let's go to header. Okay, header, where is it? Header.js, and here cost uh, auth, then set auth, in here use state state use state. Here email so initial value will be blank, and it will be like this. Actually this one will be inside this function. Okay, and then use effect for loading. So use effect, then here and then here local storage, and this one will be here square bracket for loading once, local storage get item. So we can write here user auth, right, and here then set auth this auth. So now this auth we can call here welcome auth. Okay, so somehow it is saying undefined, there is some problem. Let's check into the application local storage, then here email is undefined, that is why, right? So email is not somehow getting set here in our login page. So login user.email, not this, here email result.data.email. okay, it's capital, that's why. Actually it was small, so somehow it's not loading. So let's delete everything here once again and try to log in again. So let's go here the login page, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes, sweater. Okay, is email not valid with child email. Okay, so actually we don't require this. Simply let's make it initial value null. Okay, it will have nothing, and then the value will be set here, and it will display here auth, that value. So how this will work? We will fetch the data from local storage, that means from here uh, from application, from this email ID will be fetched from here, and then same email ID we can display here. Apart from that, you can also display name here, because we have set in login page here username. Okay, so rather than email, you can also show here in header username. Okay, so it will show. Let's do one thing. Username and then username, and we will display here username rather than auth. Then it should display first name and last name. Username is not defined. Storage username. Okay, so we need to create one more here. User and then set user, set user. Okay, so this user we will write like this. Okay, the value will come here, and finally this data we will access here, user. So how it's working? It's working like this. When this value is setting this one, that means now the value is set here, set user, set auth not set user. Okay, set user. So first we are retrieving the value from this is local storage, and storing here. After storing we are passing the value here, and finally the value is passed to this user, and this user we are fetching below. So you can see welcome Umar Rahman. In the header, let's call this one also, and let's call this use navigate here in from router. Yes, here and here. Suppose the user is not logged in. Okay, in that case what will happen? This auth will have null. So we are checking here, if auth equals to null, then send it back to login page. Okay, so how? Let's do one thing. Manually we are deleting username and email from here. Okay, so there is nothing, that means. But now let's try to open dashboard, then it sends back to you login page. Right now if I log in with correct user and password 1 2 3 4 5 6, then it sends back to me private page. Okay, and even later if I open here dashboard, then I can access this page. But once again if I delete this email which is on, and now if you refresh the page, then it will redirect to your login page. That means you can check from here if user is logged in, then in that case what will happen? This auth will have email ID. If there is no email ID, in that case it will redirect to the login page. Actually this authentication thing will be not in header, because in that case what will happen? Whichever page you try to open, for example register, then it sends back to login page, which is not correct. So what we have to do, we have to check this thing in dashboard page here. So let's write here, and this one also we need to write here, auth set auth. So if header, then this navigation also, just copy this in dashboard page here. Let's copy this useEffect code as well here, and we don't need this one here, only the auth section will be required here. Set auth, yes, this one, right? So here it will check. Even from this page we can delete this auth page, it's not required here in this one. Okay, in this header section only the username we are taking to display the username here. Here in dashboard page, and then also let's call this this router, and this one also here for routing purpose, and useEffect and use state also. Okay, if I now open register, then I can open it. Now if I try to open dashboard, then it sends me to login page. But when I open other page, I can successfully open. So how this is working? It is checking if email exist or not. If the email exists, then it doesn't do anything, or else it checks if it's null, then it sends back to login page. So whichever page you need, you just need to put this code into that one. That means whichever page you want to authenticate, that after logging in only those pages can access. But remember, this is the basic authentication process. Reactjs provides more complicated authentication process which we will discuss in other videos. Now let's write here logout. Okay, logout. Okay, so once again, if I log in here, say Umar, then 12345, then please log in here. Okay, here is 16 also, it's logged in. So in here we can put logout button. Okay, so if you click this logout button, then it's logged out here. So how it's working, just link to blank and then on click this logout. So create a function here, const logout, and then remove item email and local storage clear, and navigate to whichever component you want to learn. So guys, that's it. And you can also put here conditional, so that there is no value, then in that case it will not show. So you can do that. But for the time being, that's it. And I hope this video will be useful for you. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.